John. John was breaking his fast on apple cakes and blood sausage when Samuel Tarley plopped himself down on the bench. "I've been summoned to the Sept," Sam said in an excited whisper. "They're passing me out of training. I'm made to be a brother like the rest of you. Can you believe it?" "No, truly?" "Truly. I'm to assist Maester Eamon with the library and the birds. He needs someone who can read and write letters." "You do well at that," John said, smiling. Sam glanced about anxiously. "Is it time to go? I shouldn't be late. They might change their minds." He was fairly bouncing as they crossed the weed-strewn courtyard. The day was warm and sunny. Rivulets of water trickled down the sides of the wall, so the ice seemed to sparkle and shine. Inside the sept, the great crystal caught the morning light as it streamed through the south-facing window and spread it in a rainbow on the altar. Pip's mouth dropped open when he caught sight of Sam, and Toad poked Gren in the ribs, but no one dared say a word. Septon Celadar was swinging a censer, filling the air with fragrant incense that reminded John of Lady Stark's little sept in Winterfell. For once the Septon seemed sober. The high officers arrived in a body, Maester Eamon leaning on Clydas, Sir Alistair cold-eyed and grim, Lord Commander Mormont resplendent in a black wool doublet with silvered bear-claw fastenings. Behind them came the senior members of the three orders, red-faced Bowen Marsh, the Lord's Steward, First Builder Othel Yarwick, and Sir Jeremy Riker, who commanded the Rangers in the absence of Benjen Stark. Mormont stood before the altar, the rainbow shining on his broad, bald head. "You came to us outlaws," he began. "Poachers, rapers, debtors, killers and thieves. You came to us children. You came to us alone in chains, with neither friends nor honour. You came to us rich, and you came to us poor. Some of you bear the names of proud houses. Others have only bastards' names, or no names at all. It makes no matter. All that is past now. On the wall, we are all one house. At evenfall, as the sun sets and we face the gathering night, you shall take your vows. From that moment, you will be a sworn brother of the Night's Watch. Your crimes will be washed away, your debts forgiven. So, too, you must wash away your former loyalties, put aside your grudges, forget old wrongs and old loves alike. Here you begin anew. A man of the Night's Watch lives his life for the realm, not for a king nor a lord, nor the honour of this house or that house, neither for gold nor glory, nor a woman's love, but for the realm, and all the people in it. A man of the Night's Watch takes no wife, and fathers no sons. Our wife is duty, our mistress is honour, and you are the only sons we will ever know. You have learned the words of the vow. Think carefully before you say them, for once you've taken the black, there's no turning back. The penalty for desertion is death." The old bear paused for a moment before he said, "Are there any among you who wish to leave our company? If so, go now, and no one shall think less of you." No one moved. "Well and good," said Mormont. "You may take your vows here at evenfall before Septon Celadar and the rest of your order. Do any of you keep the old gods?" John stood. "I do, my lord." "I expect you will want to say your words before a heart tree, as your uncle did," Mormont said. "Yes, my lord," John said. The gods of the Sept had never had anything to do with him. The blood of the first men flowed in the veins of the Starks. He heard Gren whispering behind him. "There's no god's wood here, is there? I never saw a god's wood." "You wouldn't see a herd of aurochs until they trampled you in the snow," Pip whispered back. "I would so," Gren insisted. "I'd see them a long way off." Mormont himself confirmed Gren's doubts. "Castle Black has no need of a god's wood. Beyond the wall, the haunted forest stands as it stood in the Dawn Age, long before the Andals brought the Seven across the narrow sea. You'll find a grove of weirwoods half a league from the spot, and mayhap your gods as well." "My lord." The voice made John glance back in surprise as Samuel Tarley was on his feet. The fat boy wiped his sweaty palms against his tunic. Might I do as well? To say my lords at this heart tree?" "Does House Tarley keep the old gods too?" Mormont asked. "No, my lord," Sam replied in a thin, nervous voice. The high officers frightened him, John knew, the old bear most of all. "I was named in the Light of the Seven at the Sept on Horn Hill, as my father was, and his father, and all the Tarleys for 1,000 years. "Why would you forsake the gods of your father and your house?" wondered Sir Jeremy Riker. "The Night's Watch is my house now," Sam said. "The Seven have never answered my prayers. Perhaps the old gods will." "As you wish, boy," Mormont said. Sam took his seat again, as did John. "We have placed each of you in an order, as befits our need and your own strengths and skills." Bowen Marsh stepped forward and handed him a paper. The Lord Commander unrolled it and began to read. "Halder to the builders," he began. Halder gave a stiff nod of approval. "Gren to the rangers. Albert to the builders. Pipar to the rangers." Pip looked over at John and wiggled his ears. "Samwell to the stewards." Sam sagged with relief, mopping at his brow with a scrap of silk. "Madar to the rangers. Darian to the stewards. Todder to the rangers. John to the stewards." The stewards? For a moment John could not believe what he'd just heard. Mormont must have read it wrong. He started to rise, to open his mouth, to tell them that it had been a mistake, and then saw Sir Alister studying him, eyes shiny as 2 flakes of obsidian, and he knew. The old bear rolled up the paper. "Your first will instruct you in your duties. May all the gods preserve you, brothers." The Lord Commander favoured them with a half bow and took his leave. Sir Alister went with him, a thin smile on his face. John had never seen the Master-at-Arms look quite so happy. "Rangers with me," Sir Jeremy Riker called when they were all gone. Pip was staring at John as he got slowly to his feet. His ears were red. Wren, grinning broadly, did not seem to realize that anything was amiss. Matt and Toad fell in beside them, and they followed Sir Jeremy from the sept. "Builders," announced lantern-jawed Othel Yarwick. Halder and Albert trailed after him. John looked round him in sick disbelief. Maester Aemon's blind eyes were raised toward the light he could not see. The Septon was arranging crystals on the altar. Only Sam and Darian remained on the benches. A fat boy, a singer, and him. Lord Steward Bowen Marsh rubbed his plump hands together. "Samwell, you will assist Maester Aemon to the rookery and the library. Chet is going to the kennels to help with the hounds. You shall have his cell so as to be close to the maester night and day. I trust you will take good care of him. He is very old and very precious to us. Darian, I am told you sang a many a high lord's table and shared their meat and mead. We are sending you to Eastwatch. It may be your palate will be of some help to Cotter Pike when the merchant galleys come trading. We are praying too dear for salt beef and pickled fish, and the quality of the olive oil we're getting has been frightful. Present yourself to Borkus when you arrive. He will keep you busy between ships." Marsh turned his smile on John. "Lord Commander Mormont has requested you for his personal steward, John. You sleep in a cell beneath his chambers in the Lord Commander's tower." "And what will my duties be?" John asked sharply. "Will I serve the Lord Commander's meals, help him fasten his clothes, fetch hot water for his bed?" "Certainly," Marsh frowned down at John's tone. "And you will run his messages, keep a fire burning in his chambers, change his sheets and blankets daily, and do all else that the Lord Commander might require of you." "Do you take me for a servant?" "No," Maester Aemon said from the back of the sept. Clydas helped him stand. "We took you for a man of the Night's Watch, but perhaps we were wrong in that." It was all John could do to stop himself from walking out. Was he supposed to churn butter and sew doublets like a girl for the rest of his days? "May I go?" he asked stiffly. "As you wish," Bowen Marsh responded. Darian and Sam left with him. They descended to the yard in silence. Outside, John looked up at the wall shining in the sun, the melting ice creeping down its side in 100 thin fingers. John's rage was such that he could have smashed it all in an instant, and the world be damned. "John," Samwell Tarly said excitedly. "Wait! Don't you see what they're doing?" John turned on him in a fury. "I see Sir Alister's bloody hand, that's all I see. He wanted to shame me, and he has." Darian gave him a look. The stewards are fine for the likes of you and me, Sam, but not for Lord Snow. I'm a better swordsman and a better rider than any of you, John blazed back. It's not fair. Fair? Darian sneered. That girl was waiting for me, naked as the day she was born. She pulled me through the window, and you talk to me of fair. He walked off. There's no shame in being named a steward, John said. Do you think I want to spend the rest of my life washing an old man's small clothes? The old man is Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, Sam reminded him. You'll be with him day and night. Yes, you'll pour his wine and see that his bed linens are fresh, but you also take his letters, attend him at meetings, squire for him in battle. You'll be as close to him as his shadow. You'll know everything, be a part of everything. And the Lord Steward said Mormont asked for you himself. When I was little, my father used to insist that I attend him in the chamber whenever he went to court. When he rode to Highgarden to bend the knee to Lord Tyrell, he made me come. Later, though, he started to take Dickon and leave me home, and he no longer cared whether I sat through his audiences so long as Dickon was there. He wanted his heir at his side. Don't you see? To watch and listen and learn all he did. I'll wager that's why Lord Mormont requested you, John. What else could it be? He wants to groom you for command. John was taken aback. It was true, Lord Eddard had often made Robb take part of his council back at Winterfell. Could Sam be right? Even a bastard could rise high on the Night's Watch, they said. I never asked for this, he said stubbornly. None of us are here for asking, Sam reminded him. And suddenly Jon Snow was ashamed. Craven or not, Samwell Tarly had found the courage to accept his fate like a man. On the wall, a man gets only what he earns, Benjen Stark had said the last night Jon had seen him alive. You're no ranger, Jon. You're only a green boy with the smell of summer still on you. He'd heard it said that bastards grow up faster than other children. On the wall, you grew up or you died. Jon let out a deep sigh. You have the right of it. I was acting a boy. Then you'll stay and say your words with me? The old gods will be expecting us. He made himself smile. They set out late that afternoon. The wall had no gates as such, neither here at Castle Black nor anywhere else along its 300 miles. They led their horses down a narrow tunnel cut through the ice, cold dark walls pressing in round them as the passage twisted and turned. 3 times their way was blocked by iron bars, and they had to stop while Bowen Marsh drew out his keys and unlocked the massive chains that secured them. Jon could sense the vast weight pressing down on him as he waited behind the Lord Steward. The air was colder than a tomb, and more still. He felt a strange relief when they emerged from the afternoon light on the north side of the wall. Sam blinked at the sudden glare and looked round apprehensively. The wildlings, they wouldn't dare come this close to the wall, would they? They never have. Jon climbed into his saddle. When Bowen Marsh and the other ranger escort had mounted, Jon put 2 fingers in his mouth and whistled. Ghost came loping out of the tunnel. The Lord Steward's Garon whickered and backed away from the direwolf. Do you mean to take that beast? Yes, my lord, Jon said. Ghost's head lifted. He seemed to taste the air. In the blink of an eye he was off, racing across the broad, weed-choked field to vanish in the trees. Once they entered the forest they were in a different world. Jon had often hunted with his father and Jory and his brother Robb. He knew the wolf's wood round Winterfell as well as any man. The haunted forest was much the same, and yet the feel of it was different. Perhaps it was all in the knowing. They had ridden past the end of the world. Somehow that changed everything. Every shadow seemed darker, every sound more ominous. The trees pressed close and shut out the light in the setting sun. A thin crust of snow cracked beneath the hooves of their horses with a sound like breaking bones. When the wind set the leaves to rustling, it was like a chilly finger tracing a path up Jon's spine. The wall was at their backs, and only the gods knew what lay ahead. The sun was sinking below the trees when they reached their destination, a small clearing in the deep of the wood where 9 weirwoods grew up in a rough circle. Jon drew in a breath when he saw Sam Tarly staring. Even in the Wolf's Wood, you never found more than 2 or 3 of these white trees growing together. A grove of 9 was unheard of. The forest floor was carpeted with fallen leaves, blood red on top, black rot underneath. The wide, smooth trunks were bone pale, and 9 faces stared inward. The dry sap that crusted in the eyes was red hard as ruby. Bowen Marsh commanded them to leave their horses outside the circle. "This is a sacred place. We will not defile it." When they entered the grove, Samwell Tarly turned slowly, looking at each face in turn. No two were quite the same. "They're watching us," he whispered. "The old gods." "Yes." John knelt and Sam knelt beside him. They said the words together as the last night faded in the west and the grey day became black night. "Hear my words and bear witness to my vow," they recited, their voices filling the twilit grove. "Night gathers and now my watch begins. It shall not end until my death. I shall take no wife, hold no lands, father no children. I shall wear no crowns and win no glory. I shall live and die at my post. I am the sword in the darkness. I am the watcher on the walls. I am the fire that burns against the cold, the light that brings the dawn, the horn that wakes the sleepers, the shield that guards the realms of men. I pledge my life and honor to the night's watch, for the night and all the nights to come." The woods fell silent. "You knelt as boys," Bowen Marsh intoned solemnly. "Rise now as men of the night's watch." John held out a hand to pull Sam back to his feet. The rangers gathered round to offer smiles and congratulations, all but the gnarled old forester Dywin. "Best we be getting back, my lord," he said to Bowen Marsh. "Dark's fallen and there's something in the smell of the night that I mislike." And suddenly Ghost was back, stalking softly between their 2 weirwoods. White fur and red eyes, John realized, disquieted, just like the trees. The wolf had something in his jaws, something black. "What's he got there?" asked Bowen Marsh, frowning. "To me, Ghost." John knelt. "Bring it here." The dire wolf trotted to him. John heard Samwell Tarly's sharp intake of breath. "Gods be good," Dywin muttered. "That's a hand."
Jeez, now that I think about it, I would be a steward.
"Why?"
Because my best skill is cooking.
"Ah, that's true.
They would instantly want me to...
To be the chef of the wall."
Yeah.
Yep.
Going and testing the olive oil, making sure we're getting the best and that sort of thing.
Yep. So you'd either be in the shipyard, inspecting all the goods,
Yep, or in the kitchens.
making all the goods.
Exactly.
Apple cakes and blood sausages.
So I feel, John. I would probably want to be going beyond the wall and exploring and getting out of the castle, but be stuck cooking dinner for all these ungrateful assholes.
I mean, you'd get more options than I would have.
Well, why? Well, there's no women in the Night's Watch.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be on the Night's Watch.
I'm saying if there was no other choice.
Oh,
what
if-
happens to like
if
men who go to prison or get sentenced? Do they just not get the option? Like 2 people kill someone,
one of them
comes in and 1 man. They're like, "All right, sir, do you want to go to the Night's Watch or death?" "I'll go to the Night's Watch." I'd like to go to the Night's Watch too. You don't have a choice. Off of their head.
I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
Yeah?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Jesus. Okay, then.
If I was on the Night's Watch, I would probably be Sam.
Yeah.
I would not be a ranger. I'd be helping Maester Aemon tie letters to birds and write letters and do all the book stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
That would be my job. But since I'm a lady, and I couldn't be on the Night's Watch, if I was noble-born, I'd be learning to sew and hoping my uterus worked properly.
Basically be Arya.
Yeah, I would be Arya, because I'd be like, F this, I don't wanna.
I'm gonna go explore, and I don't want to sew.
Nope, I don't want to sew. I can learn to sword fight. I want to learn to sword fight, even though I'm really clumsy and I'd probably be very bad at it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd pull a Mulan and pretend to be a man, and then go learn to be a maester.
I think they'd figure it out. They're kind of smart over there.
No, they just don't
They're
have to
not
see me
some
pee. It'll
dumb.
be fine.
Yeah, but you learn about, like, anatomy and stuff, and I'm sure...
They don't have to learn about my anatomy.
And what if you, like, hurt yourself?
I'd have to bribe them to keep the secret. Because I'd be like Hermione. I'd be top of the class, and then, like, what? They'd get rid of me?
I don't think it'd work out.
It'd be
Mulan
fine.
went and pretended to be a man with a bunch of dumb army grunts. You're going to the place where they train the smartest people in the kingdoms. Think they'll notice.
It'll be fine. Honestly, I'd probably have to just leave and go to the free cities where women have more autonomy.
Yeah, probably.
Not the Dothraki, but the free cities. Not the Dothraki, though.
Bravos. Bravos is one of the free cities, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Bravo sounds like a cool place.
I'd
Bravo
like Bravos.
Bravo sounds like more progressive.
Yeah.
And you have the Iron Bank, so you know, like, the city is wealthy.
Well, yeah.
And it doesn't, I don't know, I feel like it's not as much of a shithole as King's Landing is.
I feel like every city has their bad parts.
It does, but King's Landing is just, it doesn't have, like, a...
Even in modern day, I mean,
Well,
see
yeah,
on TV, LA looks picturesque and beautiful, but they only show you the nice parts where they want to film.
Well, yeah, you don't see Skid Row.
Once you're in California, you realize, oh, that's like the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, because no one can afford to live in California.
Only 1%.
Yeah, I know.
No, California is beautiful, though.
This is like...
There's a lot of places. But
this is way, way off topic.
There is tough.
MTV is bringing Cribs back.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez. I wonder if everyone still has TVs everywhere. I don't remember who it was, but I remember someone had, like, TVs in their refrigerator. Like a flat panel when you opened it up.
Oh, well, some TVs have them on the outside now.
Yeah, they have the touchscreen and stuff.
Oh, and some of them have, like, TVs, so you can, like, watch Netflix while you're cooking.
Yeah, I know, it's like a tablet on it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, back then you had these TVs. I mean, I guess everyone can pretend they're on MTV Cribs now. I've got a TV in my refrigerator. But anyway, speaking of Cribs, Castle Black. Because this was about Jon Snow and his joining the Night's Watch.
Yes, this was not about MTV.
So, do you think Mormont is really trying to groom him, or...
Was it just Alistair Thorne being a dickhead?
Yeah.
Sam makes a very good point.
Being?
That maybe he is.
Yeah. He did ask for him personally.
Right, if Commander Mormont asked for him personally, maybe it had nothing to do with Alistair Thorne. Maybe it just made Alistair Thorne happy. Like, you're a steward.
Maybe.
Or maybe Alistair Thorne, like, convinced him. But Mormont would have had to see him in the yard and stuff. Like, he watches them. Right?
Yeah, you would think.
At least here and there.
Because you really don't see him too often, but I'm sure he's watching from afar.
Yeah, I'm sure he, like, pops in every once in a while to see what they're doing.
Peeking over his windowsill, just...
Yeah. Either way, whether...
And I mean, in the end, Jon has the last laugh. He's going to be handling, like, the laundry and stuff. Alistair Thorne, I'm going to wipe my ass with your sheets. How you like that? When you get pink eye, know it was me.
Don't piss off the stewards. Either way, whether Sam's hunch is right or is wrong, Sam does make a good point in that in this instance, Sam acted more like a man than Jon, and Jon was kind of acting like a child about the whole thing.
Yeah,
like,
a little bit.
It's not fair. He literally said, it's not fair. Like, dude, get it together. Come on.
I'm cool. It's not fair. I'm cool with a sword.
Yeah. And like,
I mean, I get it though.
well, yeah, because
you do something that's a total opposite of what you're best at.
Yeah, it feels like a slap in the face.
Yeah,
I get it, but there's a way to like accept that with grace and dignity, or you could be a baby about it. And he was kind of being a baby about it.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam was excited because, like, Sam was like,
well, Sam got what he wanted.
Sam got what he wanted, right? But even the singer, like, I don't know if he was happy with what he got or whatever, but he at least kind of just, like, accepted it, didn't whine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's possible that maybe he is being groomed to be the next Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
Yeah, Mormont is old.
Mormont is old, and I think John is kind of getting it in his head where, like, well, maybe I'm not a true Stark, and maybe I could make this my career. Maybe I could be Lord Commander. Like, maybe I could rise up and be somebody other than Ned Stark's bastard.
Mm-hmm. And let's talk about Ghost for the great comedic timing.
What a good boy.
Jon Snow's going to stand up. Ghost's like, here, let me give you a hand with that. No, but seriously, I found a hand. It's disgusting.
Hey guys, look what I found. Hey Ghost, who's a good boy? What you got there? Oh, Jesus. And John finally made the connection. The Ghost is weirwood tree colored.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a weirwood.
He's a walking weirwood.
Yes. He's a tree boy.
Mm-hmm.
And interesting.
You might call him a weirwolf.
A werewolf.
Okay. Anyways. Thank you.
Oh. Lupin's rolling over in his grave right now.
Lupin would love it.
Maybe. Sirius would love it. That's a Sirius and James joke. They would appreciate that. Also, that's a circle of 9 trees. You never see a circle of 9 trees, but beyond the wall, we see a circle of 9 trees.
9 trees?
Weirwood trees. And I love that he describes the forest as, it's like the forest in Winterfell, but creepy. It's exactly the same, but scary.
Maybe it's because there's a hand just laying around. A random hand.
Yeah, someone's hand is just someone.
How did Ghost get it?
Yeah, that's the real question. How did Ghost get someone's hand? Was that person still alive when he took it?
Well, it was black, so I guess the question is, were they moving when he got it?
I guess, yeah, were they?
Maybe White Walkers we don't count as alive.
That's true.
Wouldn't call them sentient either.
Was the hand or the individual the hand was attached to animated at the time?
Yes.
That's the question. That's the question.
And if so, Ghost's a badass.
Yes. He's not even a fully grown boy yet, I don't think.
Was the White Walker just trying to pet him? Like, who's a good boy? Oh god, no, you're not a good boy.
Maybe we'll find out. I don't know. That's a mystery. Or maybe it's just not that interesting.
This begins the war. The White Walkers just wanted to be friends, but Ghost ripped his arm off,
No.
so it meant war.
Oh, that's what it was. Maybe it's Benjen Stark's hand.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll finally find out what happened to Benjen Stark. I've also noticed literally every chapter, every John chapter, we have a wall description every time.
Mm-hmm.
We always talk about the wall in some way, shape, or form. It's almost like it's another character. The wall was very sweaty today. It was dripping a lot. Also, it was big.
Which leads
And
the question.
it made John angry, and he wanted to break it.
Which leaves the question, why is it sweating? It's a wall. It's not doing exercise. Yeah.
It's just gotta be so hot out.
I guess when you weigh 900,000 tons, you know, it's not easy dealing with the heat, even if that heat is 33 degrees.
I know, right? It's cold up there, but the wall is sweating.
Or like 1 degree Celsius.
You also notice John just doesn't talk about the cold as much anymore. I think it was a couple chapters ago, he was always talking about how he had to get used to the cold. It was so much colder up here. It was so cold, and now it's not. It's just not a thing anymore.
Well, yeah, now you just gotta deal with it.
He's getting used to it.
He's up there for how long now? Probably like 6 months?
It's been a while, yeah. Has
I mean,
it
if
been like
he's
6 months? Yeah, probably.
Probably longer, honestly, but...
Time passing doesn't really... You don't get a good sense of how much time is passing.
No, you don't.
I mean,
if you go back, you could probably figure it out, but I don't feel like doing that right now. So
No.
I'll just say it's a long time. Either way,
it's been a few months
still
at least.
complaining about the cold up there, you probably shouldn't be saying your vows.
Probably not. I feel like, what a oh my god, that was a struggle. I feel like it's been less than a year, because no one's been like, it's my name day. I'm turning 12. Or 15. Whatever.
True.
Probably been like less than a year.
That's true. I mean, John might not make a big deal of it, but Sansa would have.
Yeah, if Sansa... Well, how old is Sansa? 11?
14.
No.
No, 13.
No. I thought she was like 11. No, Arya's like 9.
Oh, yeah, she
right?
is.
Sansa's like 11, right?
Yeah, she is.
And Arya's like
Dany's
9.
14.
Yeah, Dany's 14. Sansa's 11, Arya's 9, Bran's 7. Rickon's like 2.
Yeah.
Rickon, the forgotten Stark. The Stark no one cares about.
Yeah, he's just doing his thing.
Hanging out with Shaggy Dog all day, doing Lord knows what. Maybe Shaggy Dog's finding...
I mean, right now, he's got it best.
Yes.
Out of any Stark. He definitely has it the best.
Yes, he does. He just hangs out with his direwolf all day. Mommy's not there to discipline him. Rickon's just up at Winterfell doing whatever he wants all the time.
Wonder what the maesters there tell him. I want mommy. She's busy capturing a dwarf and holding him for ransom. She'll be back soon, though.
She had to visit her sister on the way home.
So she can't read me a bedtime story? No. No, she can't.
Got old Nan for that. That's what old Nan is for. Speaking of Winterfell, we get to visit a Stark in our next chapter.
Oh, we do?
Yes.
That Stark being... Well, there's only one Bran in Winterfell.
Yeah, this is not a Stark at Winterfell.
Oh, okay. How you said it, I thought we were going back to Winterfell.
No, we're not going back to Winterfell yet. Sorry.
Okay, go on.
We're gonna go hang out with the Ned.
Again. Yeah, we'll see how that...
Where he'll suffer the consequence of the actions, the stupidity that he just performed in his last chapter.
Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
Yes.
Oh, man. I'm still not over it. I'm still frustrated with him from the last chapter.
I know. It's so weird how you feel about it going through your second read-through. Because, like, your first read-through, at least for me, the first read-through, I was like, yes, do the right thing. You tell him what's up. That's not right. And then the second read-through, I'm like, oh my god, you're a moron. Stop it. Stop it.
You had every opportunity. Every opportunity. Everyone is trying to help you here.
Yep.
Like, whether you like Littlefinger, you like Varys or not, even if you like Cersei or not, literally everyone was trying to help him.
Yes. even Renly
Cersei in
that
threatening him,
was
but
was trying to. She wasn't like directly trying to help him, but her threat should have been taken as like a learning moment and be like, oh, maybe I should do this instead.
maybe I should do it a little bit more subtle. Right now, he's like an honorable bull in a china shop.
Yeah. It's just interesting, my perspective on this read through. I really spent the first book just going, oh, Ned, you're so good. This is the right thing to do. It's like the honorable thing to do. And now it's like, no, this is bad. Stop. This is honorable, but it's not good. They're all like way smarter than you at this. Stop it. Oh.
Right, there's a way to be honorable and smart at the same time. And this is not it.
Right, like, if you wanted to be honorable and smart, then honestly, take Renly up on your offer, on his offer.
Exactly.
Like, that would have been, like, the closest to honorable thing to do. Take Renly up on his offer, if you don't want to accept Joffrey as the king.
Just take Joffrey as your ward. No one gets hurt.
Right, innocent peasants don't have to be slaughtered. Be fine.
None of the highborns even have to get hurt. Joffrey's just gonna come have a sleepover at Winterfell.
Yeah.
That's it.